Welcome to session 8, where we will be discussing white wines of Italy. Italy is an exciting wine country with lots of different indigenous grape varieties not found anywhere else in the world. In recent years, Italy's wine producers have realized that the way forward is quality and not quantity. In the 21st century, this has meant a great rise in popularity of Italian wines, and for good reason, some may add, because they do produce some exceptional wines different from any other in the world. The learning outcomes for this session include Italian wine law and appellations, wine regions from north to south, and popular grape varieties used across the country. This will include both indigenous and international varietals. As you can see from the map on the right, Italy is full of wine regions, and within those regions there are several different appellations. Because the climate changes from cool continental in the north to hot Mediterranean climate in the south, and these regions all have their own indigenous varietals, Italy, as a wine country, can be a bit complicated, but we are going to keep it simple. Today, we are going to talk about the most important of those regions and a few of their appellations. If we look at the wine law governing Italy, we must start with the PGI wines. The European designation, Protected Geographical Indication, or PGI, also has a local Italian translation. The Italian translation is Indicazione Geografica Tipica, or IGT. Like the rest of Europe, wines produced using the designation have fewer restrictions. IGT have had great success in Italy, both for red and white wines. Next, we have DOC, which is short for Denominazione di Origine Controllata. This is the equivalent of the European PDO appellation. The highest step of Italian wine quality is DOCG. DOCG is short for Denominazione di Origine Controllata e Garantita. This appellation has the most restrictions of all, and is used for the winemaking areas that are the most respected and generally produce wines of the best quality. Some producers will argue that too many regions are awarded DOCG status, and that their quality is not up to the level which it should be. In Italy, wine production has grown rapidly due to large demand in the past. For that reason, wine regions expanded away from the best areas and into flatland, where lesser quality wines were produced. In order to show consumers where the original vineyard area was, the wines produced in the original heartland can put Classico on their label. This normally indicates a fuller flavored wine, as these original vines were grown in the very best sites. In that way, Classico works a bit like the village system or appellation of Burgundy. Piedmont. Piedmont is located in the foothills of the Alps in the northwest of Italy. Piedmont, in fact, means foot of the mountain. Piedmont can be located as the green part covered on the map. Looking at the climate in Piedmont, the Alps in the north provide a cooler climate than would otherwise have been expected of wines made on this latitude. In the southern part of Piedmont, we have the famous DOCG of Gavi. Because Gavi is located in the southern part of Piedmont, it enjoys a moderate continental climate. Gavi produces some of the best Italian whites and is famous throughout the world. Gavi is made from the grape Cortese, which is mainly used in this appellation. Its wines are light, dry, and crisp. These wines are famous for good acidity and are best enjoyed young. The moderate climate produces aromas such as honeydew melon, citrus with a hint of mineral. As for all Italian wines, they pair best with regional dishes. Gavi can be enjoyed with light dishes and is great with seafood. Another great white wine region in Piedmont is Roero Arnese DOCG. The grape used here is Arnese. These wines are also light, dry and crisp. These wines, however, carry more exotic aromas than the Gavi wines. They are more complex, have notes of nuts, and are age-worthy. These wines can be paired with similar foods as Gavi, but go exceptionally well with nutty foods. Alto Adige. Alto Adige is located in the northernmost part of Italy, bordering Austria and Switzerland. The cool climate here has seen great success of the traditional international grapes such as Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay. With the exception of Gewürztraminer, these wines are light, dry, and crisp with great acidity. These wines can be of premium quality and pairs perfectly with seafood, pan-fried in butter, herbal dishes, and chicken. Trentino. Just to the south of Alto Adige, we have Trentino. Trentino also have a cool continental climate, but is located in flatter areas compared to Alto Adige. For that reason, wines from here are generally of lesser quality. The most produced grape here is the extremely popular Pinot Grigio. This grape produces wines of medium to high acidity, but is only interesting when produced in vineyards with good aspect. In Trentino, we see a lot of bulk Pinot Grigio, which is being sold around the world. Pinot Grigio is a fantastic food wine. Because of its light, delicate nature and high acidity, Pinot Grigio is able to cut through cheesy risottos. It is also great with light dishes and with salty foods such as cured meat. Friuli and Venezia Giulia. This large wine area is located in the far northeast corner of Italy. It stretches from the borders with Austria in the high Alps to the Mediterranean in the southern part. This allows for a wide range of wine styles. The most important grapes here are Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc. There are, however, also other local varieties that are distinctively interesting and of very high quality. These are Friulano and Malasia. All four varieties are known for making light, dry, and acidic wines. In the north, the wines show notes of apple and citrus. In the southernmost vineyards, the wines show notes of tropical fruit, like you would expect from the warmer climate. Some of the wines are oaked and develops with age. The very best DOC is that of Collio, which makes great, outstanding wines. Like other crisp, light wines with good acidity, they go very well with cured meats, seafood, and are great at cutting through the creamy flavors and layers in risotto and creamy dishes. Soave DOC and DOCG. Veneto is one of the largest vine growing regions in all of Italy and one of the most important in terms of quantity and quality. It is within the borders of Veneto that you find many of the best wine producing appellations in Italy. This includes Prosecco di Conegliano Valdobbiadene DOCG, which is where the finest Prosecco comes from. The famous red wine region of Valpolicella, where Amarone wine is made, is also located here. Right next to Valpolicella, we have Soave. Soave is one of the most important white wine regions in Italy in terms of quantity. Much of the wines from here suffers from overproduction, but there are great exceptions. The wines from Soave DOC are made from the local grape called Garganega. The wines from here are light, dry and crisp and have good acidity. They show a pleasant array of aromas such as herbal and floral notes, along with nectarine, mango, mineral and smoke. They are easy drinking, but the best and most complex wines are truly great. These come from Soave Superiore DOCG and Soave Classico, which is the heartland of Soave. These wines can handle more flavored foods than the previously talked about wines. Soave Classico or Superior go perfectly with roast pork and game, as well as local dishes with fish, polenta and anchovies. Central Italy. Marche is found on the east coast of central Italy with a warm Mediterranean climate. Marche is another large wine-producing region, and like others here in Italy, is famous for a specific wine. In this case, it is the varietal named Verdecchio. Verdecchio produces light, dry and crisp wines with medium to high acidity. This is achieved by harvesting the grapes before they are fully ripe. Unfortunately, this means that the grapes do not fully develop their aromas. These wines are simple with notes of citrus and sometimes almond. The most famous area is Verdecchi di Castelli di Jesi DOC, which produce a lot of bulk wine. There is an appellation producing a little more interesting Verdecchio called Verdecchio di Matelica DOCG. Because of their citrus and nutty aromas, these wines are perfect pairings for pasta served with green pesto and seafood dishes. Umbria. To the west of Marche we find Umbria. Umbria is mostly known for its Trebbiano wines. Trebbiano is also known by another name, Ugni Blanc. This grape variety is mainly used for producing spirits and is used in the production of brandies all over Europe, such as cognac. The reason it is so great for spirits is because of the simple aromas it produces. The wines are simple, dry and crisp. They have good acidity and can show aromas of apple and citrus. This is bulk wine served at entry level. If enjoyed with food, light salads or seafood are the best pairings. South of Italy, Campania. In the south of Italy we find Campania. Campania is a hot Mediterranean climate area. Like central Italy, this does not generally set the stage for fine white wines, but they do have some interesting and well-known examples. The most known varietals are Fiano, which is full-flavored, and Greco, which produce wines that are more delicate. Falanghina is mostly used in blends and is the least flavorsome of the three. These wines are all picked early to preserve acidity. Greco develop delicate citrus, pear and stone fruit aromas. The best area for Greco is made in Greco di Tufo. These wines are best enjoyed young with local herbal dishes. Fiano is considered superior and develops aromas of peach, hazelnut and pine nut aromas. Fiano has a bit of aging potential and because of its nutty character pairs superbly with pesto. Light local dishes such as seafood risotto and fried seafood served with fresh peach are great pairings. Sicily. Sicily is located in the south of Italy and can be seen as the ball in front of the boot that is the mainland. The climate here is even hotter than in Campania, something which often causes problems to the wine-making industry here. Although Sicily is one of the largest wine producers in Italy, it only produces 1% of the DOC wines. Instead, it produces enormous amounts of IGT wines, the wine category with fewer rules to follow. Against all odds, there are a few different varietals here that thrive. Insolia and Chardonnay are amongst these, but the very best, some would say, is Catarratto. The wines here are light and dry and generally have low acidity. A lot of big brands are established here, producing affordable, good quality wine. This represents the majority of bulk wine from here and is found in the cheaper section of the wine lists, but are excellent value for money. On the other side of the scale, some of the wines produced here can challenge the most complex and interesting wines around the world. The Insolia and Catarratto we see from here are generally simple wines with citrus and nut flavors. They go great with local foods and seafood. However, keep in mind that the wines are not overly acidic and can't stand up to dishes which needs high levels of acidity in their pairings. Summary. To summarize Italy's white wine production in one page is not as difficult as one might have thought. If we start with the appellation system, the highest regarded one is called DOCG. One step down is DOC, and then we have the IGT appellation, which is so widely used in Sicily with great results. Another term which is important in terms of labeling is Classico. This indicates the original wine producing area of any given appellation and is usually found to make the best wines. In northern Italy, a combination of bulk and premium wine is made. The most important grapes here are Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, and Cortese. Cortese is mainly used in Gavi DOCG. These wines share classic white wine characteristics of medium to high acidity and are normally unoaked. Depending on the varietal used and the region, the wines show melon such as in Gavi. In Soave, the characteristics are that of nectarine and mango with floral notes. In central Italy, the wines are mainly used for bulk wine production and are quite simple. The most important grapes here are Verdecchio and Trebbiano. In South Italy, we find a couple of interesting regions again, such as Campania and Sicily. Here, the acidity is gone down and is low to medium, such as one would expect out of this hot, dry climate. Wines in Campania, such as Grego di Tufo and Fiano di Avellino, are fantastic with pesto dishes because of their distinct nutty character. To finish off Italian wines, we can remember that local wines go best with local foods. If we don't have the option of pairing these, then light seafood dishes are generally a good option.